Hello, Bishop Sessa Wine Club. Welcome back to our weekly emails. We've got a couple of wines for you this afternoon which we think are absolutely perfectly suited for the season. Now, if you're like us, you've been suffering through a little bit of cold, and not only is it winter, but it's also August. And of course, August, you'll all know, is International Cabernet Day. Well, not the whole of August, but the 31st of August, last Thursday in August, is International Cabernet Day. And of course, here at Bishop Sessa, we usually run our Kablam dinner on International Cabernet Day, our Cabernet and lamb degustation. And so, of course, we've been thinking about Cabernets. Reds in general, because it's cold and big hearty reds are definitely our go-to wine these cold evenings, but also because it's International Cabernet Day at the end of the month, we're looking at Cabernets to serve at that dinner. Now, it's a long and drawn-out process, as you probably appreciate, and we have to work our way through a lot of wines, but every once in a while, something comes up that we think is just too good to hold on to for a whole month, and we thought we'd send it your way this week. So we've got a Cabernet from California, from the Bogle Vineyard in Clarksburg, and we've got an O'Leary Walker Shiraz from 2010 out of the Adelaide Hills. Both big, powerful wines. We'll start with the Bogle. Here's the label. It comes out of Clarksburg in California. This is a 2013 vintage. Now, quite difficult to get in Australia, and normally Australian drinkers don't get to see much of American Cabernets because, well, they're almost ridiculously priced. This one, however, is absolute proof of value for money. Now, if you're drinking Cabernet, of course, one of the first things you're looking for is cassis, and this one has it in spades. It's really quite intense and powerful, that lovely cassis black currant nose, and then on the palate it follows through with a little bit of chocolate, violets. It's got a lovely floral aspect to it, and then a bit of tobacco and some cedary undertones, and some really fine grained tannins. Really long, intense, powerful wine. I love this wine, and frankly, if there's anything left after we sell it to you, we might pour it at the dinner at the end of the month, but I don't imagine there will be. It's a really good example of Cabernet that comes out of California, so you assume warm climate, but of course the north of California is not always that warm, and so it's got a really nice balance between elegance and finesse and savory aspects and those lovely intense cassis fruit flavors. This is the Bogle 2013 out of California. It's fantastic. I could literally drink this wine all day. So there you go, there's the label again. Bogle. Weird, I know. Well, I've got another weird name for you. Now, it's no secret that we love O'Leary Walker here at Bishop Sessa. Big fans of David O'Leary and Nick Walker as winemakers. And year on year, they prove that they are able to make really great examples of Riesling, Shiraz, Pinot and Cabernet from their vineyards in the Adelaide Hills. And what we now know, when we look at this, is that they make wines that are also excellent for aging. So this is a 2010 vintage Wyebo Shiraz. Now, Wyebo is a single vineyard that's owned by O'Leary Walker. They've had it in the portfolio since the 90s, I believe. And this is the 2010 vintage. Now, one of the things about cool climate Shiraz is that sometimes there's a question mark around whether it can age well or not. Put it to bed. This is exactly what cool climate Shiraz is supposed to do. It maintains its elegance, and yet it becomes richer and denser with time. So those lovely plummy notes, very apparent, but the more stewed plums now with that bit of age in the bottle. Stewed plums, and blackberry notes. So all those really dark fruits. Fantastic. So quite an intense wine, and then classic cool climate. You get that white pepper spice through the wine. and long and rich and dense and opulent. I mean, this is a really generous wine, a really generous wine. This is the 2010. Now it's got 7 years on the in the bottle, and so all that's done is really just made the wine more elegant and more interesting and more intense. I really feel like the wine has benefited greatly from the time in the bottle, and also you can't get it anymore. I think the current release is 2015, and so this 2010 is a bit of a find, and we've got a limited amount of bottles. So if you like a little bit of cool climate aged Shiraz, then this is definitely something you should have a look at. Now, the prices are in the emails. Both of them are really good value. So there's the label again for the O'Leary Walker 2010 Wyebo Shiraz. There's also some reviews online if you want to have a look at that. But really, take my word for it, both of these wines, great winter wines, lots of intensity, lots of power, lots of big-bodied, hearty reds. So if you're looking at barbecued meats or roasts or any kind of that sort of rich winter fare, these two guys are absolutely spot on. Great value for the fact that one is 7 years in the bottle, and great value for one is basically an import out of the US, and it's hard to get very well priced Cabernets out of the US that are satisfying. So again, just to remind you, the Bogle Cabernet Sauvignon from California. Can you see that label there? There we go, just touch that. How's that? Fantastic. And then the O'Leary Walker from the Adelaide Hills, made by Nick and David. There we go. Well, that's all we have for you this week. Just remember, if you want to order, just send us an email. Click the link at the bottom of the email that you've just got, and tell us what you want. If you order more than $250 worth, we'll send it out with free shipping. Or if you order less and you don't want to pay for shipping, you can always just pick it up from the restaurant. So be in touch. Get some of these wines into cellar. You won't regret it, believe me. And we'll see you next time.